people kill black people, they don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racists. It's wrong for a white cop to kill a black person, that's for sure. But if it matters, it should matter at all times.
So what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
It's not about blacks. I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue?
I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Violence is wrong. Period. It's not about blacks. The blacks kill blacks in black neighborhoods every single day. I've never seen a Black Lives Matter in those neighborhoods. But if a white person kill a black person, Black Lives Matter. Stop the hypocrisy.
Why don't you start?
I'm not carrying anything saying Black Lives Matter. I know I matter.
You know, a lot of times I'll see black content creators on here, particularly the really racially motivated ones, make claims like, you know, how can white people say that they built this country when none of their labor went into building? And it's, you know, first of all, brother in Christ, a whole lot of white labor went into building this country. But even if you want to disregard that, you know, it's like you've completely forgotten about the concept of intellectual property, right? You know, you got to think these things up before they come to fruition. And I'm pretty sure, you know, the credit of that goes solely to one group. Hey, look, you know, you give respect where respect is due, and I'll do the same thing, right? And before anybody says that this is very unchristian of me, people like to forget that Jesus literally called someone a dog when he was making the distinction between the Gentiles and his people, right? And it's true. When you look into the translations of it, he didn't mean it as an insult, but just like Jesus, what I am doing here is addressing an uncomfortable subject in order to reestablish a universal truth.
How many more times is it my fault? Is it my grandkids' fault too? Is it my grandkids' fault too?
Your fault.
Yeah. It is? I mean, I'm just saying generationally, I understand it's about equality and like, hey, these certain people were oppressed. You can fucking look it up in anywhere and it's not, no one's denying it. I'm just saying like, it's not my fault, but it was my fault.
It wasn't your fault.
Hey, I could be Irish. I might be clear, but it had nothing to do with me or my grandpa. I know my grandpa. He wasn't on that shit. So it's like, is it my grandkids' fault too? And I'm already here doing this, just chilling.
I think you're missing the point.
I'm not missing the point. I'm just going another route. I'm just asking, like when
oh, you're asking the question.
The question is when does that end? When is it not my fault?
Yeah.
Like when do you guys say it's not my fault?
Like it's not the white people's fault that we're.
Well, no, it's not the fact that it's not white people's fault. It's the current white people. Mm-hmm. The current white people. Because they've done a fucking thing. My grandpa was 80, 90 years old and he didn't do a fucking thing. My dad didn't do a thing. My son, I don't see him owning any. What about my grandson? You know what I'm saying? When is it, hey, Bastion the Third, it's not your fault? You know, I mean, like, when does that happen?
White people have this really weird puritanical idea that life is about suffering. And oftentimes we create this for ourselves. I think this is part of the reason why white people feel so triggered when black people bring up things about being mistreated. Sometimes white people will be like, well, I'm treated that way too. It doesn't make it racist. So my question is, why are you accepting being mistreated and getting mad at black people for calling these things to our attention? White people don't want to stand up to anybody. And then we have the audacity to be upset when other people stand up for themselves instead of learning how to stand up for ourselves. And this puritanical punishment still manifests itself even if white people are starting to deconstruct. Usually it comes in the way of like white guilt and feeling like I can't enjoy my life because black people are suffering. And I'm going to take down other white people who do seem to be enjoying themselves because we should all be suffering all the time. So then we're all back in the same place, functioning under white supremacy.
White supremacy, the lies of white supremacy, the colonizing mentality has never brought the white man happiness, and it never will. It's toxic, dysfunctional, and self-defeating, and it's not helping us. And now there's all this white rage because when the abuser loses control, he gets angry. And then Trump was born because we had a black president. And he was perfect because he was racist. And that's what white America wanted, because they're angry, because they felt like they were losing control.
I saw someone ask, why is it that racism is starting to be ramped up? Why is it that white people are more unhappy now that they've gotten everything they've wanted with, granted, gas prices is up, food prices are up, but, 300,000 black women have been laid off. The black unemployment rate is 7%. They got all the black people, the welfare, they didn't cut the food stamps. DEI has been repealed. They can go and be racist. They're giving a fund to the January 6th. Like, in theory, all of the racist things that Trump has promised them has come into fruition. All of the economic things, no, but all the racist things that they have been so excited to get, and they're deeply unhappy, and they are lashing out. They're driving up to black people, calling them. They're coming up and trying to intimidate black people. They are so unhappy, and they got the man that they wanted as president. Let me tell you why. It's because they got what they wanted. And the reality of what an abject failure a lot of them are is staring them in the face, and they can't stand it. They thought black people were going to get fired from these highfalutin jobs that these uppity Negroes didn't deserve, and they were going to, with their high school diploma, walk in and take a job that a black person with an MBA, a black person with a doctorate had. They thought that they were just going to walk in and become professors, wealth managers, investment bankers. They thought that they had to do that they were just going to open the door wide open for them because they were white, that the companies were going to open up the doors wide open. Meanwhile, companies are
all right, so let me give a little bit of context, because a lot of times people spew a lot of nonsense and it doesn't make sense to you. The majority of the reasons why, and it's a bevy of different reasons, but why different people voted the way that they voted, because nobody is a monolith, but the majority of the reasons don't even have nothing to do with black people. Black people was not the main character that people were focused on, but they didn't want people to focus on race. They wanted people to focus on policy. And as far as policy is concerned, that's the one thing that she's right about in this video. And she didn't mention some of the policies that was meaningful to people. Had nothing to do with black people. One of the biggest things that I've seen people were complaining about that did vote for Trump and that he did execute on was benefits going towards illegal migrants that wasn't supposed to be in the United States of America, that was taking up resources and was taking up jobs from people that deserved them here.
This is going to be a hot take, and it's either going to get me canceled or people are going to be like, you're right. So here we go. I'm just going to say it. Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. And I mean that. If you're going to be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore. Obviously. It happens time and time and time again. You see one black person hanging out with their group of white friends, and they're like, oh, I've known these guys for forever. We grew up with them. I'm the only black person in the high school or something like that, especially down here in the South, okay? Down here in the South. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you. They will turn on you quick. So not only do y'all have to be worried about the police, now you need to be worried about your group of white friends that you grew up with. And am I saying every white person's like that? No, obviously not. Okay, but better be safe than sorry, right? And that's a shame. But I just keep seeing it happen. And like over the past 2 or 3 years, especially, if you know what I'm talking about, people have just gotten louder and prouder about it. So really, it all boils down to like a lack of empathy these days. That's a whole nother subject though. But yeah, it don't come from me about my hair. I just got them running 5 miles.
So, I got a question for all you crackers. Y'all really seem to hate black people. So, here's my question. What did they do to y'all? I mean, what have they done to y'all to...
They can't
they can't stand to see people getting their value from within. Like, you know how many white people have asked why are like, they've literally, I've seen it in the comments, I've seen it in videos of white people saying, black people, like, how do you get your joy? Like, how are you so happy? Like, why, like we know that we've oppressed you for all this time. How do you still stand up and smile and dance? Like, they want us, and that's not to say that they want us to, well, some of them certainly want us to, like, not be happy. But even the ones who do not actively try to make sure we're not happy, they feel like we should be unhappy. And so they ask, why are you so happy? And that's because they themselves have been trained and brought up to think that their happiness comes from external validation. Y'all, that is what it is. Because white culture, white American culture is very consumerist. It is very, you get your value from having the biggest house. You get your value from having the hottest husband and the prettiest woman. You get your value from having the most, the highest paying job. You get your value from having the highest net worth. That is literally how a lot of white Americans define their value, is if I have this external indicator that everyone else can see that says I am worthy. The higher that number on the stock ticker for them, that is the higher their value. And and when that is where your value comes from, you will always look at people who are poor or people who have no money and be like, why are you smiling? And it's just like, because my value does not come from some artificial number on a board that someone else made up. Like, what? That is crazy. But another thing is, when you have the mentality of my value comes from things outside of me, you have the mentality that everyone else has that same mentality. And so so then it becomes a whole lot of projection. It becomes a whole lot of projection of, like, I would be insecure if I were in your place, so why aren't you insecure? Like, it's just like, so the projection starts, and it's like, and that makes them mad as well, because they just expect you to think like them, and it's like, absolutely not. Hustle culture is one of the external validation traps. It sure is. It sure is. It sure is. And that goes into, y'all, don't let me get on my history box. Because the Black Panthers, y'all, they were very anti-capitalism, very communist, pro everyone working.
So it is all after all the sufferings that white people have been through. You remember, since the MAGA people voted in Donald Trump, they believed the change will come automatically, of course, because you see, in this particular end, most people, when you are doing elections, most people believe a new leader will transform their lives, will make things better. That's why they go and elect the person of their interest, okay? But things fell apart, and you know what's happening around America right now. Like, things have been hiked. Like, when you talk about the price, the fuel prices have been hiked. They are very expensive. Like, right now, many people cannot afford or cannot sustain one job, okay? Cannot live with one job and cater for every bill in the so that is one thing that white people are complaining. And to make the matter worse is that black people are just relaxed. They are not complaining. That things makes white people very furious, and they are starting to complain, like, why are you black people not even feeling this kind of the heat that is happening right now in our country? Like, no one is complaining. No, black people are like, okay, everything is just okay. So they are furious. They want the support from Black Americans to help them like kind of demonstrate, complain, so that the government can hear them. But guess what? Black people are not even into it. So this thing is making them very furious. And I'll be playing about those videos so that you guys can see what's happening. And remember, guys, these videos, some of them are very old videos, but they are just trying. I'm just made them to make you understand what's happening in America at this particular moment, and what has been happening, not even right now. It has been a trend that has been happening. So remember, guys, this video is for education and entertainment purposes, for creating awareness for you guys to know. And also remember, guys, this video that you are seeing, they belong to the original creators who deserves all the credits for making this video possible. Guys, watch the end and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below.
I think white people are sick of people trying to tell them how they should think, what they should do, in a country that was founded by people that mostly look like them.
Out of here. You're really not welcome in this state or this country.
You are wearing scrubs. You work with
it
people
doesn't
of
matter.
all cultures.
What matters is that you worship a terrorist who is a warlord, a pedophile, and Islam is a terrorist organization.
Yeah,
not a
you're
religion.
not educated
Not a
about
religion.
it.
I'm very educated on this subject.
No, because you're obviously not.
You need to leave. You're not welcome here.
We are welcome.
This is not a Muslim country. This is a Christian country. And
Stop
you need
looking
to leave.
at her like that, please.
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
You're not welcome here.
We have citizenship
Why do you work
here.
in healthcare if you're like You need to leave. You need to go back to your Islamic country where you came from. Okay?
No.
Everybody's aware of why you're here.
No.
Okay, so don't think that we don't know, and don't think you're going to get away with it.
I'm pretty sure we're kind people, but you're not being kind, so you can get out of here. You're not welcome.
I think white people are sick of people trying to tell them how they should think, what they should do in a country that was founded by people that mostly look like them. Everybody else can be tribal except white people. And when white people become tribal, everybody call them a racist. Now, I don't think that it is good for a person to blindly be prejudiced against other people. I think it's ignorant. But I think in some of these cases, you have people that are fed up and they're sick of it. And they feel like they're getting pressured into being somebody they can't be and overtaken by people that don't even love this country. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. These young women who she's talking to could be decent folk. They just happen to be Muslim. They happen to be some Muslims. Okay? That don't mean you bad because you're a Muslim. But in this situation, this lady decided to air her frustration. Now, let's put this in perspective. Pull up the clip. We don't know how this started. Obviously, something has happened before this video clip because somebody pulled out a camera and started recording the person mid-sentence. So you know something had to happen. The lady ain't walking around Walmart with a body camera on. Something happened and they start recording. So I don't know what led this white lady to say what she said, but what I will say is that a lot of what she said is true. I think she's entitled to her to freedom for her to say what she want to say. Now, if you wearing your business attire, you're subject to getting fired. That's a rhyme. Your business attire, you're subject to getting fired. Don't do things of your own personal volition with your work stuff on. If you running around with an Officer Tatum polo on and you say something crazy that make me look bad, I'm gonna have to take action against you.
There are two reasons why people don't like Black Americans. The first reason is very obvious to me, and it's because Black Americans call shit out. If you're a culture vulture, if you disrespect them, if you steal from the culture and try to reinvent it as your own, they will call you the fuck out. If you are a non-white person that's letting white people walk all over you and be racist towards you, they will call it out. But y'all don't like a mirror being held to you. You don't like accountability, and you don't think Black Americans have any right to check you. The second reason is because the parasite class has made it their mission to demonize them because they have been the ones fighting white supremacy, the thing that they need to be wealthy since they got here. And now look, fascism is winning right now. It's all over America. You're being attacked by your own military. But Black Americans chose to sit down and y'all are clutching your pearls because you don't know what to do.
So this message for all the white people who be mad about, comedians doing whiteface. And I'm gonna break this down very simple and plain, okay? There's a difference between black people and white people. Huge difference with this whiteface, blackface situation, right? First of all, black people are not known or have never shown proof to create a whole society to diminish, destroy, and completely demolish a certain race. That's what white people have done, right?
You know what always amazes me when a white person has to pretend like they're a little white savior? Black people don't need you to stand up for them. They don't like you. Just change your username to I hope black people like me, and I'll do anything to make that happen. I don't give a fuck about culture. I give a fuck about getting up and going to work, not destroying fast food restaurants when my order's wrong, being respectfully quiet at our normal sound level in public, and most of all, not blaming an entire ethnic group for the shitty life choices I might have made. Have a terrible day, Renee. I hope you stub your toe 5 times.
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about?
As we wrap this video, I just want to ask you a question. What do you think about this video, guys? Do you think like also black are complaining, or is it that white people are the only one who are feeling the pain? Or what do you think is happening with black people? And let me know your opinion in the comment section below. What's happening in particular this particular minute? So make sure, guys, you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and also let me know what you guys the video that you want me to do it for you next, and I'll be able to do it, guys, happily here. And that's how we do it. Remember, guys, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, guys, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, subscribe, guys. So I'll be ending. See you guys, stay safe, see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.